And not to play victim or anything, but this would be a lot easier if I didn't have all these false charges, even misdemeanors and BS that's on my record that are not me and I'm not even guilty of. But I would love to be able to DoorDash or Uber. You know what I'm saying? That'd be cool. I'd just do that, you know what I'm saying? And then do this and do that. It'd be so much easier. Instead, I got all these charges. Certain places won't hire me that I actually would like to work. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. And I don't got no felonies. But anyway. And on top of that, why am I on probation again? For 2 years? You want to put me on probation for 2 years. And after 2 years, they want to drop all the charges except for one misdemeanor. And then put me on another probation for another year. And then when they give me that misdemeanor, they give me time served. That didn't make no daggone sense, especially since it all stemmed from my father, the perpetrator and aggressor, pressing charges on me. And then when I press charges on him, it's a problem. In fact, when I press charges on him and missed arraignment, because I told you I was working, the reason why I found out is because I applied for Uber and it showed I had to keep it. So I was like, what? So then I called the public defender office, who was supposed to be my lawyer, Brett Lucas. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll look into that. I'll see if I can, handle that. I was like, oh, word. He said, call me back. I never heard from him. But at the same time, I called the Commonwealth attorney here in Virginia, Chesapeake. And I was like, hey, look, is there a warrant out, Capus? I know I saw one. I was like, nah. And then she said, I see one. I was like, well, is there any way we can resolve this? She's like, no, you're a fucking fugitive. I'm like, whoa, dude, you gotta be so mean. She's like, yes, because you're a fucking fugitive. I'm like, good God. And then she hung up on me. But, and I think back in hindsight when I recorded the video earlier here, still on TikTok, I believe, when I was explaining what happened between me and my dad, and I mentioned that technically, you want to get technical about it, even though I had a warrant from my ex-wife who was delusional and dismissed it because I wasn't guilty. He was housing a fugitive, and I wasn't saying it in a way then, or at least I wasn't trying to say it in a way that was like he was doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because that just proves that illegal and legal aren't always right and wrong. However, what I was trying to say is the technical term would be he was housing a fugitive, which is illegal, but I didn't mean anything by it like that. And she just started to act like I was a problem, like I was doing something wrong by pressing charges on him when he's the one who was actually the perpetrator. I don't think so. Anyway, that's what led to that KPS. I missed that, and then them making another court date where they were trying to revoke my bond and all this stuff to put me in jail, and I was like, I'm not showing up to that either. That's why I wrote that whole letter of agent as a Jeremy Emery, because technically I didn't write it. The agent for Jeremy did, so there you go. Can't hold me accountable. Anyhow, I mean, you can, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it was still wrong for them to lock me up for missing arraignment when I pressed the charges. On top of it, it was wrong to lock me up for pretty much any of this stuff. Nonetheless, it was wrong for my father, Michael Emery, to even press charges on any of this crap anyway. It should have stayed out of the courts to begin with. Even in the Bible it says that. Don't take it to the courts. If you have a quarrel with your neighbor or your family, settle it there before you go to courts. He never once did that. He went straight to the courts. Why? You asked him. I don't know. Because my whole concept was I'm going to press charges on him, right? And then when I go to court, I'm going to dismiss them. And since I appealed the other charges, even though I had time served, when I go back to court there, hoping he would do the right thing then. You see what I'm saying? However, it didn't happen like that. Because I guess the Commonwealth didn't like the fact that I was about to get off all my charges. Go figure, right? Because I was innocent anyway, and they didn't want me to prove my innocence. But, oh well. That's on them. Freaking, when I did appeal it, and then they realized I didn't show up to arraignment, because I had a lot of stuff going on. I was moving from Newport News, and I don't want to go there when I was dealing with Newport News right now. Well, I'll come back here, I'm working 2 jobs, staying in my car by choice, honestly. I could have rented a room, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to deal with drama. I was more peaceful in my car working 2 jobs than I was dealing with any other bull-ass drama like in previous videos of Virginia Beach. It wasn't the first time or the last time. However, back to when I appealed the charges, I got time served for my father pressing charges on me, but I was proved guilty. When I appealed that, the game plan was to, go to court, dismiss the charges I pressed on him, and then when I went to court back for that, hopefully he would do the right thing, right? And if not, at least I would have time served on top of he would still he would still be held accountable in a sense, somewhat, some way. You know what I mean? At least I gave him another opportunity to do the right thing. Feel me? However, like I said, when I appealed it and the Commonwealth yelled at me saying that I'm a fugitive, like just straight nasty, and they tried to make me come to court, for failure to appear, and to try to revoke my bond. I was like, nah. And even my boss was like, you should have gone to court. And then jail was like, yeah, suppose you're right. I don't really believe that though. I don't believe that one bit. Honestly, I don't think any of it's right the way they did me. Not one single bit of it. In fact, I shouldn't even be on probation, if we're being honest. I shouldn't have half the, if not all the charges that are on my record. Because you go back to when Gene Jarvis and Brittany Crespo freaking did me dirty. I think there's another chick, Abigail, whatever. I was literally playing guitar and singing. That's all I did all day. Pretty much that. Play basketball and sleep and eat and work out. I didn't bug nobody. In fact, I think I helped a lot of people throughout the life. I was playing music. I even was playing music at Wawa randomly, and two dudes came up to me. I was just playing the original. I was like, you make that up? I said, yeah, pretty much just now. It's like, wow. You mind if we take pictures? If we come back and take pictures? I'm like, sure. And they came back, took pictures, and gave me like 220s, and next thing I know, I'm in the newspaper. The only reason why I knew it was in the newspaper, the dude I was living with, Michael West, brought it in. And was like, hey, what are you doing in the newspaper, bud? And he put the clip on his refrigerator. I didn't really read it. Honestly, I didn't care. I never was about the fame. I just loved doing music at that time. I was really good at that time. I was supposed to be opening up for Nova soon, I think. That's neither here nor there. Point of the matter I was trying to make is that the whole appeal process went sour because I didn't show up to court and they arrested me for a failure to appear. Which was from an arraignment I missed that I pressed charges, which honestly seems illegal as crap because I swear there's many a times when people have pressed charges with me and they didn't show up to arraignment. They just got told the court date. But hey, make that make sense. What I do know is, God is good. I love Christ. He loves me. And I'm just getting all this stuff out of me. So, what difference does it make if I talk about it or doesn't? You know what I mean? What does make sense, though, to me is them taking me off probation and sealing all the documents. Not seal. Yeah, you could seal them. If you can't void them, then seal them. If you can't get me off probation, do something. Because this is ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Redonkulous. Yeah. But, I mean, hey, it's whatever. Because at the end of the day, still gonna find a way. Actually gotta find a way, make a way. And I'll walk right on down that way. Whichever way it is. Confirmation. I love y'all. Whoever you are. I want to say I don't love the haters, but that wouldn't be quite true. Fortunate or unfortunately. Either way, I hope y'all have a good night, because I think I'm done for tonight. Much love.